September we met, I could tell by your smile. You hadn't been with a good girl like me in a while. Yeah, you were impressed.
Hello Sewists, welcome to another insightful tutorial on Lapery College of Fashion YouTube sewing channel. And in today's video, we shall be learning how to go about the drafting, cutting and stitching of this monostrap dress. And to do this, we need our basic bodice pattern, and I shall be making use of the Lapery simplified and professional basic bodice pattern, which I've gone ahead to transfer out this way. I also have here with me my African print 6 yards of Ankara fabric here. I haven't transferred out my bodice pattern. This is what we have. And looking at the design, the waistline actually went beyond the natural waistline. So what I did is to extend my bodice by 3 inches this way, and the waist shaping will also be transferred to the new waistline, likewise our darts. To do this, you flip backwards the extension, tracing out your darts and following the outline this way, which will not be sharp straight on, neither sharp this way, but simply goes gradually like so. And our waist shaping now is at the new waistline. So for the front piece is the same way. Let me show us with this. So using my tracing wheel, I trace out, and following the outline, I'll go ahead to draw it out carefully, the dart legs. Then the waist shaping will also be transferred this way, which is ½ inch to the side seam. So we go ahead now to cut. So this is what we have afterwards. And since the design is asymmetric, we need to make our pattern double, and we'll be spreading it out, going ahead to join both front piece and back piece at one shoulder end this way. So having attached front and back, we'll be coming inward at the armhole by 1 inch, since the style is sleeveless. So for all your sleeveless garments, you need to reduce your shoulder width. So I'll do 1 inch reduction, blend it down to the underarm for both front and back piece, like so. So for the neckline, we'll do our neck width as desired. They will mark, which we need to blend to the underarm. But we need to determine our neck depth at the front, how low we want it, by picking it from the shoulder line, marking the depth, so it will pass through that point mark down to the under bust. Our style line. So if I turn the style line properly, so for the back piece, from that shoulder line, we also connect with the underarm, drawing our style line for the neck properly. So this is what we'll have for the neck and the armhole. So we'll go ahead to cut. So by the time we cut, we have this, and at this point we can separate our back piece and front piece. And for the back, we are done with the pattern. So the darts will be constructed on our fabric like so. So let's put the back piece aside. We'll now go ahead to work on the front piece, which is a major one. And since we have widened our neck, we have widened our armhole, there could be gaping around the armhole and likewise at the neckline because of the style that we are working on. So we need to take care of gaping at this region, which we need to connect with the apex and do our tightening. Likewise for the neck region, we'll connect with the apex and do our tightening. But let's leave this for now. Let's go and cut our band. So I put the pattern back on fold, then trying to locate my under bust region. But since we have added to our simplified bodies and we have also done our neck width, we might not be able to pick our under bust from the neck. So what will be guiding me now will be to locate my front length, to make use of my front length, which is the end of the white paper. So I'll place my tape measure now, then I'll be able to locate my under bust line, which is 14.5. So here is my under bust line. So I'll go ahead now to cut. and with that you've been able to get the band pattern. Then I'll be cutting off the darts this way and this way. Now, to further tighten our underbust region to make it more pronounced, what I'll do will be to cut off about 1/4 inch here, 1/4 inch here at the upper part of our band. Make sure you label your band properly, the up, the inseam, the lower part, the center front. So I'll tighten at the underbust region this way. This is what we'll have, and here's my hem for the band. Spreading it out, this is what we have for this piece and the other side this way, and we are done with our band. So now working now on the main body of the front, we'll spread it out again. Then we'll be transferring all the darts to the shoulder line where we have fullness created. So I'll go ahead now to draw my slash line to connect from the shoulder down to the apex this way, and with this, by the time I cut through, I'll be able to transfer all the darts at that region. Likewise for this other side, I'll draw my slash lines, cutting it through, then transfer all the darts at that region. Now we talked about gaping at the armhole and also on the neckline. So at this point, if you want to take care of gaping, you could do that simply cutting it through, touching the apex again, then you go ahead to lap it over depending on the measurement of your side darts. Then likewise for the neck region, you cut through, lapping it over to take care of gaping at the neckline as well. So we are simply done, and of course that region will not be visible, no seam, it will not be visible at all. So we'll go ahead now to introduce another slash line to create more fullness. So I draw my slash line this way, cutting it through and spreading out. So this is what we'll have. We'll be placing it on another paper to finish up. So this fullness here will be disposed using gathers. It's also possible for you to dispose using pleats, whichever you feel comfortable with. So for more understanding on this dart manipulation, you could look up my video on the channel on dart manipulation and likewise on gaping. Or you could also join our paid class on dart manipulation where you have more insights into it. So with this, we are done with our patterns both for the back and front. So go ahead now, placing it on fabric, and of course you need to check for your grain line to do this, and your fabric has to be placed on the right side because it's asymmetric. So having cut, adding seam allowances, this is what we'll have. This is that of the front, and these are the band patterns. This is the center front, and by the time we join, you could see that it will spread out at the hemline. So going ahead to cut lining and doing our proper sewing, this is what we'll have. So for the back piece, our dart has been properly constructed, and you could see this is our actual waistline, and you could see that the hemline is spreading it out to accommodate the bodice. So for the front, this is the pattern for the band, and this will be joined. And because we did little tightening, there could be little excess for the upper part, but you carefully do the sewing, easing it in without it showing any form of pleats or gathers. So here we have for the bodice. So for the lower parts, for the front, we'll be doing 2 yards. We'll measure out 2 yards this way, and by the time you gather it, of course the fullness should be enough. So for the back piece as well, we'll cut another 2 yards, which means a total of 4 yards for the lower part alone. So having cut your 2 yards for the back, simply gather it up at one end, then you cross check the length of your dress, and you attach. For the front piece, based on your waist, you need to do some little calculation to know where to properly input your slit, the high opening at the front. So based on my own measurement, I'll put on fold at that end this way, Then I determine the length of my slit, how high I want the slit, the opening. So cutting it out at that region, they determine the opening. I'll mark it out so that by the time we join, here will be my opening this way. And we're gathering the upper part to attach with the bodice. And with this, we are simply done. The zipper installed on one end this way, neatly finished, and you are good to go rocking your monostrap dress.
Lapery College of Fashion, raising professionals.